Good evening, South Tama Trojan fans. Welcome to another night of basketball here at the STC Roundhouse. South Tama hosting the Benton Community Bobcats for Jam the Gym Night, the annual booster event put on by the STC Activity Boosters. We got a full crowd here, a really nice, good-looking crowd tonight here at the Roundhouse as we're getting ready for girls varsity action. About 6 minutes away from tip-off. South Tama girls coming in looking for their first win of the season. But things do not get any easier here tonight against another ranked opponent from the WaMaC West Conference in Benton Community. The Bobcats coming in are ranked 8th in the Class 3A standings from the Iowa Girls Union. They're coming in with a 9-4 overall record and are going to pose just as much kind of threat to South Tama or many other opponents as several of the other WaMaC powerhouses that really have put this conference on the map the last few years. Clear Creek, Amana, Solon, Williamsburg, among the really high-performing teams that have been really doing good things. Benton Community coming in, meanwhile, coming off of a trip to the state championship last year in Class 3A. They've graduated a key player, but they bring back a lot of returners and a really strong program, so we'll see how they look tonight. South Tama coming in off of a loss to Clear Creek Amana on Tuesday. That was a 71-21 finish. And, yeah, just kind of more of the same. South Tama kind of looking to find their stride and just on a different sort of tier than Benton and CCA and many of the other WaMaC schools at this point. But we'll be interesting to see how South Tama looks here tonight on a Friday evening. And we're just excited to be here. We've got our pep band in the house as well, and some alumni members in attendance, so a nice sized pep band along with a good sized crowd here, the boosters, and a couple of different groups doing some things out in the cafeteria, some raffles, and we have some free hot dogs and free popcorn going on. So it's been a fun kind of build up to tonight's action. I'm Darvin Graham. Tonight I'm joined by my co-host. First time this basketball season. Glad to see you. I've got George Cuter here with me.
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
That's a Friday night with nothing to do.
Well, I'm glad you chose to spend it over here with Trojan Country, and we've got 2 home basketball games. I'm loving the move towards more home doubleheaders with this WaMaC Conference, and it helps for a program, the basketball programs that have been down the last few years, just to get more butts in seats with 2 teams playing on the same night. It's been really nice to see, and we got one of those here tonight too.
Yep.
And so coming into this one, let's see here. We got about 3 minutes. We will go ahead and give you your starting lineups. And just a second here. All right, starters. First for the visitors. We can get this to play here. All right, starters for the Bobcats. Going to be number 3, senior Emma Townsley. She's a 5'8" guard. One of 4 returners coming back from this Benton Bobcat squad that went to the state title game. Lost to Sioux Center last year. Townsley starting at that point guard position. She's committed to go to Wartburg next season. A really talented multi-sport athlete. Next up, add another guard position. Number 12, 5'8" senior guard McKenna Kramer. Kramer, kind of the next scorer behind Townsley as far as point averages, and she's kind of their 3-point specialist. At the small forward position, number 23, 5'8" senior Zoe Jungi. At the power forward, number 20, 5'10" sophomore Aubrey Kelly. Kelly coming in as the one new face to this starting lineup for Benton Community, and she is a 5'10" frame that's going to be trouble down in the post for sure. And rounding out the lineup for the Bobcats, number 10. She's a volleyball standout, a 5'10" senior forward Piper Nelson. Nelson committed to go play volleyball next season at Indian Hills Community College. And the Bobcats are coached by head coach Jeff Zittergren. Now for your STC Trojans. South Tama's starters. Number 2, freshman guard Olivia Holla. At another guard, number 20, senior Takaya Rosenberger. At the shooting guard position, or at the small forward position, number 22, 5'7" forward Sienna Defoe. At the power forward, number 5, 5'8" senior Kayla Heck. And rounding out the lineup for STC, at the center, number 3, 5'9" center Aubrey Dolzon. All right. We are just about ready for our starters here on the court tonight. South Tama head coach is Dina Kiana. She's assisted by Marsha Kiana. Leading scorer for South Tama coming into this one, Kayla Heck. She's averaging 8.2 points per game. She's also the steals leader for this team, and is kind of the most experienced player coming back into this lineup in 2023-24. Behind her, it's really kind of a different story each night. Last game out, leading scorer was Gisela Camacho. She came off the bench, had a 3-pointer, ended with 7 points on the night. That led South Tama in their losing effort to Clear Creek Amana. We'll see if she gets in the lineup later in the game. She's available tonight, going to be coming off the bench.
Fans,
for
our special Jam
the Bobcats.
Sponsored by STC Activity Boosters. I encourage you to visit the
Leading scorer is Emma Townsley. She's averaging 18.4 points per game. Also the team leader in assists and steals. Like I said, behind her, Kramer averaging 13.5 points per game. Nelson at that center post position, averaging 6 points per game, but she's the top rebounder and top shot blocker for the Bobcats down in the center.
And now for your starting lineups. First one, our visitors from Benton. At guard, a senior number 2, Emma Townsley. At forward, a senior number 10, Piper Nelson.
Last game out for the Bobcats. They were against Benton Shellsburg, and they got a win 49-32 in that one. They've got wins against Center Point Urbana, Mid-Prairie, a ranked Regina Catholic team. That was a 3-point win back in late November. And then wins against West Delaware, Mount Pleasant, Williamsburg, Independence, and Grinnell.
For your South Tama Trojans, at guard, a freshman, number 2, Olivia Holla. At forward, a junior, number 3.
Trojans without the services of one of their co-captains, Jeanette Cervantes. She's been out. I think she's really been dealing with a leg injury since the volleyball season. She was a little bit in and out early on, and she's been fully inactive the last few games here. So she's working her way back, hopefully before the end of the season. But so they're kind of having to go a little bit further into their bench than they were at the beginning of the season. So we're going to take a break, have the national anthem here at the Roundhouse. We'll be right back with a tip-off.
The national anthem performed tonight by the STC Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Mike Carnahan.
All right, we are ready for action here. Again, the starters on the floor here for the Bobcats. Townsley, Nelson, McKenna Kramer, Aubrey Kelly, Zoe Jungi. For the Trojans, Paula, Dolzal, Heck, Rosenberger, and Defoe. Thoughts going into this one, George? I don't know how much basketball you've gotten to see this year, but
well, I haven't
what are you looking for here?
I haven't seen the girls much. Just kind of in and out with, and just. I think one of the things is that they're looking for continuity.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for it's really tough in the WaMaC to get that go on a run, go on a stretch.
If you got to play CCA Marion and like boom, 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 that's tough.
Yeah, and that's what they've kind of hit. They kind of hit a little bit of a buzzsaw in not being very deep and not being very well-rounded with.
Right.
With the scores that they have, where this Benton team you've got a leader and then you've got a good supporting cast.
Yep.
South Tama doesn't have necessarily the great supporting cast game after game after game is one of the things that I've noticed with the girls.
Here's a three-pointer to start things out. It goes through. McKenna Kramer scoring first.
And that's what you're going to have to do with this Benton team is you're just going to have to you got to pick a weapon down the floor and just try to stop it.
And some pressure coming here early, too.
Yeah.
South Tama able to break through and get into the half-court set. Sienna Defoe loses the handle a little bit. Tie up near the free throw line. And it'll be a jump ball.
And that's one of the things with this Benton community. It's not seeing them play a whole lot. I think one of the biggest things they do is they jump out early and they jump on you, and then they go deep into their bench. And
having that
where
depth
you're
is
it's
so big.
And that's critical.
Here's Dolzal, a little spin move, and
there
it's good.
is.
Aubrey Dolzal gets on the board. And
that's
South Tama.
And at home, that's what you have to do is Aubrey just kind of puts the ball up and just and big body in there and not afraid to take it to the basket and pound it out.
Underhanded shot there by Jungi. No good, but a steal from Townsley. And right like that.
Fun trivia, she could have been a Trojan.
Yeah. Our former middle school principal, Eric Townsley. I enjoy getting to say the Townsley name at the broadcast. You know, kind of our Allison's family.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's this interesting thing having those folks still in the WaMaC. There's another bank shot. Aubrey Dolezal got 2 here early, and South Tama keeping pace through this first couple of possessions.
Just keep feeding the beast. And this could be kind of an entertaining thing until.
And there's Piper Nelson going into the lane, drawing some contact to the lane with a foul. First team foul for South Tama, and that's going to go against Dolezal.
That's what you have to do, is just keep these kids, keep Benton away from, you know, hopefully they're as cold as the weather.
Yeah, right.
And we can heat up a little bit, because it's just a. Yeah, but they're scorers.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. Nelson, 1 for 1.
And you don't necessarily want to do that where you're going to throw the ball away.